Alright guys, welcome back to Let's Play Demon Souls. In the last episode, we defeated the Dirty Colossus, and since then, like I said, I took the last 4 worlds to pure black tendency. As you can see, Volitarian Palace is still pretty white, while the rest are all black. The way I did this was I used the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, and then I just suicided in various parts of the area. So in Stonefang Tunnel, I did the first area, Stonefang Tunnel, and just jumped off a cliff. For Tower of Latria, I did the Fool's Idol Archstone and then jumped off the ledge right behind you at the start. For Shrine of Storms, I did the Adjudicator's Archstone, and what I did was I went down, killed the first Reaper, picked up some Dark Moonstone from him, and then jumped off the cliff at the bottom there, and I just did that. And then for Valley Defilement, I started at the Valley Defilement and just walked off the ledge right in front of you. And so I did that 7 times in each area. That took me all the way from, I think I was in Pure White in most of them, so I could have done those events, but I like doing Pure Black first because it's easier to get to Pure Black than it is to get to Pure White. There's a quick method that can take you straight from Pure Black to almost Pure White with little worry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the Black World Tendency events in all these areas. I don't know if I'll be able to fit them all in this episode, but we'll do our best. So yeah, the game gives you plenty of Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, and then what you can also do is after you've defeated each boss, you can just go back into the world and die in that world in body form, and then it'll reset it. So that can save you if you're worried about running out of Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. I wasn't. I still have like 4 left too. And the other thing is, the reason why I want to do Black World Tendencies first is because it's easier to get white character tendency this way, which I'll explain more later. So what you want to do is, for the Black World Tendency in Stonefang Tunnel, we want to go ahead and start at Stonefang Tunnel. And I have the Clean Ring and the Thief's Ring equipped. And where there's some special events that happen when there's Black World Tendency. The first thing you should know is that all the enemies are much tougher. So they can definitely kill you, so you don't, so you want to be really careful about that. Oh yeah, by the way, we also used some of the souls while I was getting the Black World Tendency, so we were able to level up my Faith to 24, unlock that 3rd spell slot, also got my Dex to 18 and my Magic to 13. Wait for those guys and then go run over here. And as you can see, there's a new enemy down there. That is the Primeval Demon. When you have Pure Black World Tendency, a Primeval Demon appears somewhere in each of the levels. It's the same location, and that'll let you know if you have Pure Black World Tendency. Well, sort of. They can also sometimes appear in the World Tendency that's right before Pure Black, so almost Pure Black World Tendency. So you want to be careful. That's why you want to make sure that you want to die 7 times in body form each level, just to make sure that you're in Pure Black World. So then these guys are pretty easy to kill. Just don't stand in front of them. Yeah, they don't have a lot of health, and they have a random chance of dropping a colorless Demon Soul, which you just saw me pick up. Now sometimes they won't, but they have a pretty high chance, so it's pretty likely. Now, you might think, oh, okay, is that all we needed to do? The answer is no. Because we killed the Primeval Demon, once we return to the Nexus, that'll increase the World Tendency towards White by 3 levels. And that's bad, because there's another World Tendency event, so don't go back to the Nexus yet. What we want to do is we want to do the second part of the Black World Tendency events, which means we need to progress through the level just a little bit more. So be careful. Like I said, there's going to be some new enemies, some Red Phantom enemies, so definitely be careful about that. Oh, you know what? I just realized I put away my Moon Winged Spear, and I wish I had kept that, because that would have been really helpful for this area. Oh well. We'll just have to make do without it. Yeah, they'll also drop rare items this time. I think actually we'll be fine with the Crescent Falchion. But yeah, see, so we already have our first Black Phantom, or Red Phantom is what they really should be called. These guys are really tough, so you definitely want to be careful. Just let them miss. Yeah, they're much tougher than they appear. They might be able to one-shot me even at this level. All the enemies also have more HP, so that's something else to be careful of. But you know, just play conservatively. If you die, it doesn't matter because you're in. Well, you want to make sure you're in soul form. You don't want to die in body form once you've gotten into pure black anymore, because we're gonna make it we're gonna trigger a way to go all the way to pure white, pretty easily. So just run past all these guys, and we're gonna want to continue to the last part of the level, to where we fought the armor spider. Now, while you're in pure black, it's also probably a good time to find any of the crystal lizards that are roaming around and kill them. But eventually I'll probably get back to pure black world tendency. Anyways, so don't really have to worry about that. We'll have more Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. The game will give us some more. Plus, I still have some from the Valley Defilement. There's the 3 that I told you about, where some really tough giant depraved are, and so we can go after those a little bit later. I also went ahead and equipped full moon grass, and I also took some royal lotus out of the out of Stockpile Thomas's inventory, just so that we could have some for when we go to those areas, and so that we have some more healing grasses and whatnot. So up here's another red phantom, and then there's some more scattered throughout the area. I'm not going to show them all. I'm just going to kind of show you the quick way to get to the world tendency events, just so you can get out of here. The good thing about Black Phantoms, though, is that they will always drop an item. So if you want to farm them, that's a pretty easy way to do it. Be careful, because you probably left this elevator down from when you fought the armor spider, so you're going to want to go ahead and go over here. And wait for the elevator to come up. And we're going to descend into past the armor spider. So like I said, don't go back to the Nexus yet, and make sure you're in soul form when you're doing all this stuff. Because there's going to be a Black Phantom NPC encounter, and if you defeat him, that'll also increase your world tendency towards white by 3. So that'll be +6 towards white, which means all then you have to do is kill the final boss, and you'll have pure white world tendency. And that's pretty much my little trick to getting the black world tendency events and the pure white world tendency events really easily. And what's nice too is if we die in this next part, we'll start back at this archstone. So you won't start from the archstone you warped in at, you'll start from the closest archstone that's behind you. So just skip all these guys. I don't really care about them. We just want to get to the main enemy of this fight. Now the NPCs that you're going to fight in pure black world tendency are not to be trifled with. They can be really, really tough. So definitely you don't want to take any of them for granted. Go ahead and fall down this. And then go ahead and fall down back here. This is the shortcut to get to the Flame Lurker, in case you've forgotten. And I can see him over there. That's Scirvir the Wanderer. That's his Black Phantom. He has fire magic, and then the first thing that he'll try to do is cast Regenerate on himself. You want to stop that. You definitely want to stop that. And then he'll actually run out of MP. So... ah, darn it. I missed one of those crystal lizards. Did I get it? Nope. Okay, well, I don't really care that they disappeared. That's not a big deal. They would probably just distract me from the fight anyways. So, okay, this guy is tough. He's got really powerful fire spells, but like I said, he can run out of MP. So what you want to do is you want to charge him first. If you have a really big weapon, like the Meat Cleaver, you can slam it on him, but I think we're going to want to use a fast weapon like the Falchion, because he's got fast attacks as well. And then you basically just want to bait his fire magic and just have him use it all up until he doesn't have any more. And that'll make the fight go a lot faster. Just in case, we're going to want to go ahead and cast Second Chance. So, in case he does tag us with some of his fire magic, we'll be okay. Warding's not really going to help with that. That would really only help with his physical attacks, which we can block anyways. So let's go ahead and rush him. and then just back up. Now if he... Okay, now he's using his fire magic, and that fire attack, as you saw, it killed me. It put me back in second chance and gave me half my life back. So now it's a waiting game. So just dodge the big fireball attacks. Keep about mid-range distance. He also has a quick fire spell, as you saw. But just keep dodging him back and forth, and eventually he'll get tired of casting his fire, and he'll just come at you with the sword. In which case you can do some parries and, you know, really get a lot of moves. Now don't let him fall off the cliff. You want to make sure that he dies by your hand. So, you know, if you have to, go back into the cave, lure him back in here. Just don't let him back off the edge of the cliff, or you won't get the credit for killing him, and you won't be able to, it won't put you back towards pure white world tendency. Now, should be running out of magic fairly soon. He actually doesn't have that much, especially if he casts the big fireballs. So just keep doing this over and over, and eventually he'll get tired of this. Oh, that was close. I'm caught on the ledge. Oh, that was no fun. Alright, you got any more big fire magic? Yeah, just keep chucking the fireballs, buddy. And eventually, like I said, he'll get tired of doing this. Okay, so he's ran out of possibly the big fire magic, but he still might have some little fire magic, so just keep your distance just in case. Alright, but he's starting to rush us, so he might actually be done. Let's go ahead and pop a fresh spice, and I'm going to cast Second Chance one more time, just to make sure. Alright, the big fireball magic is what I was really worried about. Now that he doesn't have that, you can pretty much just go to town. Alright, got some good bleed damage on him, so that should help. Yeah, just block. And then just keep countering. And that's pretty much my strategy for beating him, is let him run out of magic, and then you can just really just wail on him, and he won't be able to do much. But, you know, if you didn't let him interrupt that first regenerate magic, that can really cause you some trouble. So you definitely want to get rid of that as your first thing. Because, yeah, as you can see, he's got a lot of health. So, come on. Now, I also don't know if you get credit for killing him if he dies by the bleed effect. So eventually, once his health starts getting a little bit lower, I'm going to want to do I'm going to want to try for some parries so that I can take him out in one big shot. But hopefully the bleed will wear off by then. Yeah, as you can see, he's got almost 2,000 hit points. He's definitely a tank. Alright. Let's try. There we go. Yeah. So that was Scirvir the Wanderer's Black Phantom, and for killing him, we get the Talisman of Beasts. Awesome. What that does is, that's a talisman that lets you both cast magic and miracles. Now, in order for it to be effective, you need to have 18 magic and faith, which we don't. We're close. We have 14 magic and 24 faith, so we just need a little bit more magic. But that'll be really nice because for most of the miracles that we have, that doesn't matter, like warding, a second chance, evacuate. The only one that's really going to affect is enchant weapon, and eventually we're going to have enough magic that that's not going to matter. So for now we're going to keep the Catalyst and the Talisman of God, but eventually we're going to switch over to the Talisman of Beasts, because we can still use it to cast evacuate and whatnot. So now that we killed him, let's go ahead and warp out of here, go back to the Nexus. And let's take a look at our world tendency. Yeah, so Stonefang Tunnel is almost pure white, so that's great. And our character tendency for killing a Black Phantom has also gone up. So I want to get that to pure white as soon as possible. And yeah, so Stonefang Tunnel is good now, so all we have to do is kill the final boss of that area, and it'll be in pure white world tendency. So as long as we don't die in body form, it'll be good. And we also don't want to go online, because I want to do the white tendency events first. So now we're going to go ahead and tackle... probably the Shrine of Storms next, because that one's one of the easier ones to do. Valley Defilement's got a really annoying NPC, and Tower Latria's got a pretty tough one. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Okay, so I'm going to make this actually a short episode, and then that way I can go ahead and we're going to take the Tower of Latria on next. So I will see you guys in the next episode.